I remember seeing on social media that people were going to start clapping from their doorsteps, but I hadn't really stopped to think about it. Then at about 7:45 on the first night, I heard a clatter of feedback and a guitar tuning up. Within half an hour, a band had formed.
Well, the Thursday evening clapping. I really enjoyed it. It was a lovely chance to see all the neighbours in the same place at the same time, which rarely happens usually.
There are people in the state who have said they feel really isolated and they look forward to Thursday evenings. It is the highlight of the week. They feel part of something bigger.
It was surprising how many different instruments turned up as it went on, and always accompanied by pots and pans left over from the clapping. It was nice. It was like we were all in it together.
I found that I really enjoyed the freedom of simply making a noise. Sometimes just simple beats, sometimes rhythms. I could hear other noise making going on, some wafting in from the village, some closer. I could make out horns and brass instruments, as well as household percussion. I suppose that clapping doesn't carry too well in the countryside, so people make louder noises so as to be heard. It was quite exciting when sometimes a call and response happened between nearby houses.
I didn't really know my neighbours before the pandemic. I live in a building of single occupancy flats, so you catch people on their way to work, but that was it really. As soon as we were on lockdown, we got to know each other pretty quickly. We'd sit on the step in our identical plastic chairs and enjoy the music, socially distanced with a few drinks.
As well as giving a much-needed boost to our key workers, the campaign has also had a dramatic impact on the spirits of the whole nation, with many people on social citing how they've never felt more connected to their community, despite the fact that we're all locked inside.
I think that it was lovely to show support for the key workers who are putting themselves at risk and making huge sacrifices, but I think in practical terms, perhaps they could have benefited from better pandemic management skills from the government, more so than a clap. But I don't know what the correct answer is here. Although the clap itself was a nice way to get together with the neighbours and check in with the community.
I've had a bit of a rough time personally with COVID. My grandma passed away early on in the initial lockdown and I couldn't attend her funeral. And then a couple of weeks ago I was made redundant because my workplace still can't open due to the restrictions. Talking to people about it has really helped though, and it's made me realise how many other people are going through the same thing.
Mixed feelings for me too. I agree with Molly. It soon became something else, an easy gesture that did more to make us feel better than actually help the NHS. Maybe it galvanised public opinion at the time, but we do have short memories though.
I'm an NH doctor. I've had enough of people clapping.
And we used to stop for a socially distanced chat afterwards too. There was one lady at the end of the street who was usually very gregarious and sociable. She'd been told very firmly by her son she was not to go out, and she'd actually become quite anxious about the whole situation. And the first week she was upstairs waving and clapping from a bedroom window. But after a couple of weeks
she actually came downstairs and then she joined us outside, so it was really lovely to see her getting her confidence back a bit and joining in all the clapping and obviously the chatting afterwards as well.
I wondered at the time whether what I was doing was a tribute to the NHS or simply a welcome break to the quietness of my life at that time, or perhaps a mixture of both. I found it provoked an emotional response, similar to being at weddings or funerals. I was a bit sad when it started to peter out. I banged my sieve, but couldn't hear anyone else out there.
You have been listening to Joyful Noises, a noisy time capsule exploring the Thursday clap for carers. Created by Joyful Noises, a project by Hannah Earle and Tim Hill. Commissioned by Seed, an Arts Council England funded creative people and places project based in Sedgemoor. Written by Tim Hill, spoken by Hannah Earle and Tim Hill, with contributions from Abigail Hellam, Judy Smithers, John Dyer, Jenny Earle, Molly Meikle and Natalie Clayton. Sound recordings and lockdown performances by John Hall, Chris Cundy, Bruno Guastella, Natalie Clayton, Victoria Osborne, Nick Brace and Hannah Earle. Additional sound and music by Tim Hill. Mixed and edited by Tim Hill.